Hey, Slater Crusaders, welcome back to our special about pornography. Coming up next, we're going to talk to Liz Wheeler, and we're going to talk about the cultural issues here, like why feminists embrace pornography as opposed to, shouldn't they be the ones speaking out against it? Our last segment, we're going to talk more about the heart. We're going to talk with the director of XXX Church, talk about the heart associated with this. In this segment, I want to talk about the brain with our friend, Dr. Mark McDonald. He has a book called United States of Fear, and his newest book is Freedom from Fear, a 12-step guide to personal and national recovery. And he's the co-host of the podcast Informed Dissent, which you must watch. Dr. McDonald, thank you for being here, sir. Again, we're talking about the brain. What do we need to understand about this idea of addiction, right? Porn is everywhere. It's all everywhere you look. You can't get away from it. And people are addicted to it. Why? What do we need to understand about addiction to make sense of this?
Well, you already made, I think, the most important point, which is accessibility. It's everywhere. It's in your pocket, on your phone, it's on the computer. It's not just behind a screen or a roped line like it was in video stores 20 or 30 years ago. So accessibility is one of the biggest drivers of addiction, which is why I'm not in favor of legalizing drugs that are harmful, especially for children, because now in my practice, almost every child, every single one, is smoking pot or vaping. And it's because it's become normalized. It's become ubiquitous. You can buy it on the street corner. You can order it on Snapchat. I had 2 patients actually die. One was 12 years old just a year ago because he ordered an anxiolytic called Xanax on Snapchat, and it was laced with fentanyl. He wound up getting poisoned and died at home. So addiction is largely driven by accessibility to whatever it is that you're addicted to, and pornography is all over the place. Of course, that begs the question, even if it's ubiquitous, why are people in large numbers destroying their lives with it? And that's a more complex question, but I think it has to do with a couple of things, and one of them, particularly with young people, because this is also destroying married couples, it's destroying religious Orthodox Jews. Huge problem in the Orthodox community here in Los Angeles, pornography. Same with the Mormon community. So it affects everybody. But as a child psychiatrist, I really, really see it as a hugely destructive influence on young people who are just about to make their way in the world. They're graduating from college. They're trying to date. They're looking for a spouse, hopefully going to get married and have children, propagate, continue civilization. But they're not doing that. I had a young man in my office yesterday, 24 years old. He lives here in Los Angeles. He's graduated from college. He has a master's degree. He's living at home with his parents. He's working full time. He is not dating. He is watching porn every single day, mostly on his phone. When I ask him why, he says, well, a little bit of it is boredom. But he said, mostly, I just feel like I don't know where to find women. I don't know how to talk to them. I don't know how to be in a relationship. And I wrote about this in my first book, United States of Fear, specifically the chapter about the attacks on masculinity. And I believe firmly that masculinity has been under attack now for years. You cannot be a man, be assertive, contain women's emotionality, work hard, make sacrifices, take risks without being accused of misogyny, of being part of the patriarchy. And that leads men to be passive. And when they're passive, they do not assert themselves. They do not ask women out. They do not speak to them. They do not initiate conversations. And then what follows? Pornography. They sit at home and they watch porn and they gratify themselves sexually without getting into the relationships that they really need. And then, of course, women wind up being alone. They don't get married. They don't have children. And we end up having a whole generation of men and women who are living lives of quiet desperation. That, I believe, is the end result of pornography and why it is so destructive, particularly with young people.
Hey, thanks for watching this clip. This is not an easy topic to discuss, which is why we must discuss it. And I'm very grateful, proud of you, in fact, for watching that clip and having the courage to continue on and hopefully stop this addiction. You can watch the rest of this special on thefirsttv.com/support.